this red through, and as the cue ball comes through, it hits the red, and he just got the cannon wrong, and the white comes back, and he has got a shot at the pink, but he made a very simple situation quite difficult. He ended up missing this pink. As you can see here, it goes to the far jaw, and he gave Joe Perry a real opportunity to come in and steal the frame. Now, he didn't in the end, as it happened, but on another day, Joe steals the frame. And what players want to do when they're out there is they want to be clinical. When you get that chance, chances are so few and far between these days. When it comes, you really want to take it. Steve was the first guy to really start doing that. Then Stephen Hendry came along, and now Ronnie, when he gets in, he just pots the balls that are there. And you just, if you don't do that, you end up in a situation like that. You add 10 minutes of stress to your life that you just don't need. And with tournaments like this, if you can sail through the draw unscathed and keep a bit of emotional charge, it certainly helps you towards the end of the event.
Judd knew as well, didn't he? As soon as he got up on that shot, he realised what he'd done.
Yes, he realised he'd misjudged the ball path of the cue ball, that it flicked the red, so it was in anywhere, could have gone in no man's land. But from all the top players' perspective, one of the reasons why the game has become even more attacking is that if you get a chance, it may be the best chance you get. So once you're amongst the balls, you've now got, there's more pressure on you to clear it and to make a frame-winning clearance than there's ever been, because you may not get a better chance.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Sean, for now. One more frame before the mid-session interval. Back to the boys.
Yeah, good points there by the boys in the studio. Ultimately, it was that fine safety shot, wasn't it? Up by the baulk cushion, a thin one, that created that final chance. Giving Joe another problem right off the bat, this frame. Frame, of course, before the mid-session interval. Incidentally, this match, today is the last day of the last 16 round. The winner of this match will play Tom Ford, who prevailed last evening in a late night encounter.
Well, I think you should say this morning, Alan, we were still here commentating at 12:30. Well, after midnight that one finished, and Tom Ford did remarkably well to win the decider.
A rare tactical mistake by the gent, so already 3 or 4 times in this match that Judd Trump's created his own openings. Not just all thunderous long crunching reds all the time, he's learning all the time. You see, I think 5 or 6 years ago he would have been straight down, just off straight pink, trying to power through the reds, but it's not really a nice shot to play. Brown well within his compass, so probably a good change of plan. Yeah, you see it. And played on the red below the black spot that's impossible not to be on. Brilliant shot.
Five. Six.
Yeah, this is where Steve was talking at the top of the show in the commentary box with some of the shots that Judd plays. Totally different choice to other players, and that was an indication taking the brown there. Not that many players would have opted for that choice. But it's given them an early chance here. He's got enough angle, he'll go into the reds here because there's a couple of reds. As insurance, he's bound to be on. Didn't have to go in with a lot of pace because this was guaranteed.
21. $22.
Perfect angle again on the black. Gently into them again because this one was guaranteed.
29. 30.
This has been wonderful. It's the little cannons into the pack, not going in, Dennis says, with a lot of pace, just nestling other reds out the way, leaving him almost guaranteed to be on a red the way he's played the last 2 or 3 little cannons.
37.
Brilliant stuff, this.
$38.
Snooker players often change little technical things in their game. Most players do. The paradox about your technique is that, for most guys, that is that the only thing permanent is change, because players aren't machines. Little tweaks here and there. People spoke about Judd's technique down the years, but I wouldn't change a thing, not when you've got this boy's talent.
Yeah, he doesn't always cue straight at the ball, but it's the way he's always played. I mean, I would advise Judd, well, I don't think he would bother with a coach. He doesn't want anybody tampering with his natural ability. He's always played this way. He's
Thank you. 44.
a unique player.
$45.
So this next shot could give him this frame before the mid-session interval if it works out. It's not a gimme the next pot, but
50.
if you wanted to get into the little gap there, it would have opened more up, but a long red will keep things going here. Is it in? Of course it's
51.
in. Just one mistake again from Joe Perry, which was uncharacteristic. Just playing to get into the bunch there and come up a long way short. Not like Joe to do that.
59.
Yeah, what he's shown us here, Judd Trump, is that he's no longer just power reliant. He keeps it in reserve for when he needs it most. As I say, early on in this break, he played a couple of gorgeous little cannons that I just, oh, I was drooling over,
66.
quite honestly. Been brilliant stuff. This red for 3-1 gets a kick, but the red disappears.
67.
Yeah, he's looking around the scoreboard as we show you the heavy contact there. You can see the red jumping. He's not on the blue, but as Alan said, Joe at the moment needs a snooker. Well, at present, he needs one snooker to tie.
Yellow ball.
And that more or less secures the frame. Not a bad positional shot with the rest. Well, let's see if he rolls this. Let's see what happens. He might play a little bit more pace, but we've seen it turn off along this cushion. Let's see what happens this time. This time it holds its line.
70.
Yes, I was talking about keeping the power in reserve at
77.
2 shots in this break. That brown and then the yellow. Marvellous stuff.
78.
Beautifully played.
83. $84.
He just rolled that into the pocket as if it was hanging over
91.
the pocket. Still going to need the difficult last red
92.
to make the century. But it's been very, very entertaining here so far and very fluent. Quick frames. Be some shot up the cushion.
97. Judd Trump,
Yeah, Joe
97,
Perry's had
and a
enough.
frame.
Quick, but classy with it. Judd Trump just purring along nicely here as he moves into a 3-1 interval lead.
Well, this time yesterday, we were thoroughly enjoying Ronnie O'Sullivan dispatching Jack Lisowski 6-1, and Judd Trump is playing so beautifully, isn't he?